This is the plaintiff, Carol Paris. She says she and the defendant were both looking for a place to live, so they decided to get an apartment together. Big mistake. Huge. Since the day they moved in together, there's been nothing but problems because the guy would come into the apartment with a different woman every night, and they always smoked pot in the place. When she complained, he told her she was making his life miserable. Miserable? Police! She's suing for $183.13, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Nigel. He says the plaintiff stole the money he gave her for the rent, never paid the landlord, and they were soon in arrears. He's finally getting out of the place at the end of the month. Can't wait to rid himself of the pesky plaintiff, and most definitely doesn't owe her any money. He's accused of smoking out a tenant.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. These litigants lived together and it was a disaster. The plaintiff says the defendant brought a new woman in every night and hotboxed it to boot. But the defendant says she's a deadbeat. It's the case of the apartment that went to pot.
Thank you, Douglas. Ms. Paris, you are suing Nigel for $183.13 that you say he owes you on a gas bill from July to February. What happened here?
Judge, in 2013, I met Nigel. We used to rent rooms together. They had a problem with my child and the landlord, so she called child services on my child. But Nigel...
How old's your child? My
child was only 14. So we was back and forth and, you know, over $60. It happened over $60. You understand me? She kicked down the door where she proclaimed that she was a cop.
All right, but so the two of you end up,
by he moved in almost the same time that I moved into the rooms. So we, you know, always if I cook, I would say, hey, come get a bite.
So you were friends and you decided to find a place together.
We was never friends. When we moved into this place, we became friends.
Okay.
You understand me?
And then you decided to find a place together.
After we had to move from the rooms that we was, I went to another room, but it was so deplorable. So in 2015, I filed...
Oh, you got to get me past 2015. Are you kidding me? Okay.
Yeah, in 2015, I filed my taxes, and I'm a single mother.
Okay, I really need you to get to the story that's here.
Okay.
Okay. At some point in your life, did you decide to, the both of you, rent a place?
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, no, but get there. Okay, so you decide you're going to rent a place.
Yes.
All right, and what is the agreement between you two about...
The agreement is that rent is $1,800. He's supposed to pay half of the rent. He said that he's only going to pay $600.
Because?
Because both of us live in there, both of us on the lease.
No. Why is he only going to pay $600 and you have to pay $1,200?
I don't know.
Well, in your complaint, you say because he said that he's only going to be living in the room.
One room.
And that how many bedrooms are in this place?
3 bedrooms.
3, and that you have a son, and your son has his own bedroom, and you have your own bedroom. So it's fair to divide it by 3. That's what you said in the complaint.
Exactly.
Oh, so you do know. Okay. So then what happens with the utilities? What's the agreement that you guys have on the utilities?
I do live in home health. One day I was at work.
What's the agreement that you have on the utilities?
Oh,
Before the problem. You're about to tell me about the problem. I want to know what the agreement is.
He said when we move in, he's going to pay $600 on the utilities.
Okay. And then now go ahead and tell me your story.
I was at work. Yeah, and my son called and tell me, he said, Mommy, Nigel quarreling because I have the TV on. So I called him and I said, listen, if you paying the utility bills going to be a problem, because I don't want, my son is a loner. You understand me? He don't mix, and I have to work. I'm a single mother. I said, listen, if you're going to bring a problem, I going to pay the bill. I pick up the phone and I call Coned. He didn't pay the bill because it was the first month we moved in. See, he didn't pay no bill. So I take my bank card and I pay the money to get it over to my name, and I pay the light bill, the gas bill, to get it over to my name.
Okay.
You understand? It's a case closed. So he leave. He don't have to pay the bill.
Right. So why are you suing him for the bill now?
On July, I was coming home on the train from work. I wasn't feeling good. And I start feeling bad. And when I vomit, I see blood. Because I know I have heart problems. Since 2016, I had surgery. And I threw up on the train and I ended up in hospital. From since then, hospital. So I'm home on welfare. Okay? He said that he is not going to give up the property They said, so okay, so listen, I'm not working. I said, transfer the bills over to your name. I said, I have an amount to pay for transfer it, pay it. Because you don't pay whole year. You didn't pay no light, pay no gas. Transfer it to your name and pay the bill. He said he don't have to pay no bill for my child. So the man next door gave me a small hot plate because, I was telling him he's not getting to cook. And this time he moved
Why would you need a hot plate if you're
Because I can't cook.
Are you paying the rent?
I pay the rent, I pay my part.
Were you current?
Yeah.
And were you current?
Huh?
Were you current on the rent?
I gotta explain this whole matter.
Yeah, because
When we moved in the place, the light and gas was in my name. I came home.
You were supposed to pay it.
Yes. Nobody home, TV on, all the lights on. It's bright like here. So I said, excuse me, I said, Carol, I can't afford this.
Well, who'd you say it to if nobody was home?
Well, when she came home, I told her.
Who's Tyrell?
That's her, Carol. I said, Carol, you got the TV burning 24 hours. You got the light burning 24 hours. We got to turn the lights off at night. After that, I never seen a light bill. My last light bill.
Well, that doesn't sound believable because nobody's going to go behind your back and pay a bill voluntarily. It sounds to me like you guys knew that.
After April is the last bill I ever saw.
Right.
In April,
Judge?
the light and gas.
Okay,
She turned take the light out my name and the gas and put it in her name. When we moved in the apartment, it was in my name.
Were you yelling at the son about watching the TV?
No, never. No way. I would never do that.
So you don't get another bill, and then what happens with, quote, one-shot deal? What is that about?
Now, she said, Nigel, do you know everybody in this apartment is on welfare? And their housing and this and that. Next thing I know, this bill shows up. The landlord taking us to court. Every month I give her $600 rent.
So you weren't paying the rent?
She wasn't paying the rent. The landlord take us to court for 2 months.
I went and I filed for one shot.
2 months the landlord take us to court.
Stop talking.
That is how I don't really know. That I think it all the time that I pay everything for this apartment.
I'm sorry, I asked you earlier whether you were behind on the rent, and you said no. Were you behind on the rent?
At the time, yes.
How far?
At the time,
How
we was
far
just
behind on the rent were you?
$1,800.
How much was the rent?
The rent is $1,800.
How many months behind were you?
Just 1 month.
2 months.
Why does
Plus
the landlord
arrears.
sue you for 2 months?
2 months and a raise is right.
Do you
there.
have to be behind in order to get one-shot deal?
Yes.
So you let it get banned, but you were collecting his rent. You got his $600. I need you to stop screaming.
Listen, he just gave me $600.
Well, and you didn't give it to the landlord because you had the plan to do the one-shot deal. Now, what is one-shot deal? What is that?
The one-shot, like if you can't pay your rent, you go to the food stamps and file for one-shot, and they pay your rent for you.
How much rent do they pay for?
I don't know. He get through with it. I didn't get through with it. No,
but you applied for it. So
I applied for it and I was denied.
Right. How much did you think you were going to get for it?
I really don't know.
So you had back rent then for how many months at the time you filed for it?
Of July and August.
Okay, so the landlord's not getting rent July and August, but was he giving you the $600 July and August?
He gave me $600 for July.
Okay. So did he know that you were applying for one shot? Did he know?
Yes, he did.
All right. So you get denied because why?
Because it's not my apartment.
So you're not on the lease at all?
I am just, I'm on the lease, but by his credit, I am just a roommate. So and this is what he knew. So did you
apply for one shot?
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
And what happens?
They paid me $8,000 something.
They paid you, not the landlord?
They paid to the landlord.
Oh. They paid the landlord $8,000. That's not 2 months. That's not the back rent.
Well, as the case go on, I continue to pay my rent.
To who?
To the landlord. I have all the paperwork here.
The $600.
Yes, I continue to send my $600. I pay $1,000. I pay $2,200. All the rent paid off until the end of this month.
So what does the $8,000 represent?
The $8,000 is as the case continue, the rent builds up.
Right.
Because she wasn't paying her part. The city only paid $283 for her. That's what they see. And HR was paying her utilities. She wasn't paying the utilities. After she applied and she went on welfare, they was paying the utilities.
I need to see proof that somebody other than her, did you end up paying the utilities or are they back?
I paid up to August. HR take up the bill for 500 and something, which
August of what year?
August of 2015. I was paying the light and the gas.
Okay, stop. So then another government agency paid for you from when to when?
Because I am home.
From when to when? From August to when?
I'm home since July. I tried to go back. Of what year? Of 2015.
Okay, you're suing for $183, which according to you represents...
That is the last bill.
Right, that's just the last bill from July... No, it's not. It's more than that. It says amount owed for gas bill from July 2016 to February 2017?
Yes.
So
that's the bill that comes...
Oh, because it comes by the...
Right, and I asked him, I said, I paid for the whole year.
That doesn't make sense. We're talking about 8 or 9 months.
Yes.
Your bill comes every 8 or 9 months?
Yes.
That's a weird... Can I see the bill?
Yeah, the city was paying the gas.
The city was paying... You can't say that.
I want you to both stop talking because I can't handle the sound of either of your voices right now.
So how do you pick a compatible roommate up front? How do you figure that out?
I feel like you should ask them what their nightlife is like, when they go to bed. I know my first college roommate didn't work out because we were interested in different things.
Interested in different things is one thing, hating each other is the next. How do you figure it out?
You would have to just trial and error.
Trial and error. Well, that's kind of cynical, but maybe true. What do you say?
You know, like she said, trial and error. And another thing, you need to go and ask people about a person's background outside of their close friends. Talk to a family member, maybe.
Or do a background check.
I would do it.
Interesting. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
How can your charges be $5 for the month?
I don't know.
Well, you should know. You know? It's your bill, it's in your name right now, and each month that goes by, someone's not paying the small amount that it is. And then that's how it gets to 183. Is it because there's still a government agency paying?
Judge, let me say something.
No, I want an answer to what I'm asking. Don't ignore me.
I'm not ignoring you.
Okay, I want to know, is somebody still paying? Is a government agency still paying part of this?
They cannot pay the bill. That's what I was trying to explain. The bill have to show that a cutoff date. But he called them and tell them to put it in his name. The people cut the gas.
So is it presently in his name?
No, it's not. It didn't gone over because the bill didn't pay. If I had gotten a cutoff date for that bill, it would have been paid. But I did not get a cutoff bill. You understand? That's why I said I pay, because they didn't say it, they just cut the gas like that because he requested.
Oh, so there's no gas now?
There's no gas, so almost 2 months now because he said he don't have to pay no gas to my son, but I have to pay for he and the women them cooking.
This lease is until when?
The lease is up.
The lease is up.
All the rent has been paid off. I'm moving next week. Everything is done.
And you're gonna stay there?
No. My lawyer, they're looking after the landlord called me, said he's gonna give me my money.
Yeah.
The lawyer's looking after that.
Yeah. The landlord's going to give you your money.
I pay everything for the apartment.
What do you mean? Everything. The security deposit?
I pay the security. I pay for the order checks. So I don't know why you coming here lying to you. Okay. I'm not here for lie.
All right. I don't know why the bill is so low, but the bill right now is $183.13. But that represents several months of bill. If the original agreement, which both sides say the original agreement is that you are responsible for utilities, and it was just frustration and arguments that led to, all right, I'm going to pay it, I find that you are the one who has to pay the bill. I realize that she's only in court now because she's mad that you got the one-shot deal and that you are able to stay there and that, whatever. But
she don't even know how February and March might be.
I'm looking at the bill, and the bill is... that's probably because there's a set amount that you're paying every month. Like you guys are in that program where there's a set amount as opposed to it going
because
up and down.
the city was paying
well, then they were. So what? Okay, I am going to go ahead and find that the portion that somebody wasn't paying, okay, is not going to come from her pocket but from yours because that was the original agreement when you guys moved in. $183.13. Verdict for the plaintiff. Good luck, folks.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
So the plaintiff gets the $183 she is seeking. Nigel, the defendant's just come out of the courtroom. You're still together in the apartment, right?
Yeah, the lease is up, so I'm moving next week.
So you're about to leave then?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you still on speaking terms, even though you've had to come to court today? Or
No, I wouldn't speak to her for what? She tried to ruin my credit, got me going to HR, going all over the place, getting one-shot deal.
Yeah.
That's something that I have never done before.
So have you learned anything from this whole experiment that you started?
Don't share apartment with anyone.
Okay, if it's possible. Good. The door is that way. Thank you very much. Nigel's on his way. Ms. Paris?
Yes.
All right, you get the $183.
Yeah, that's I wanted him to pay the gas bill, and I think it was reasonable of the judge. But fabricating, I'm a single parent. I have a child in the apartment. Every time he come in, I don't know where he get these women from, but the marijuana, 3 o'clock in the morning, and when I talked to him about it, he said making his life miserable.
Let me ask you a quick question. The case is over. You're going to get the money. What happens now? Because he's leaving at the end of the week.
Well, I have my lawyer and my social worker on it, so...
Yeah. You're going to get another roommate?
Yeah, no.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
You'll be there by yourself with your child?
Of course.
Good. Okay.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Harvey?
Doug, when you move in with somebody, set the financial ground rules up front and keep a ledger on who's paying what, because sometimes, time goes on and things get murky and memories fade. Keep a ledger on who paid what.